Now remember, legs and arms tucked in. You don't want anything wagging too far out, including your tongue, so you might lose it upon re-entry. Count of 3, 2, 1. Very odd. Oh yes, I remember. Yes, a dashing young man in a brown fedora came to me in a dream and told me I'd be visited by some strange-looking youths in bright-colored clothing to ask me some questions about things that I've said or others have said about me. And then once I did that, I would be able to return back to my beloved home where I was working on my motorcycle. I'd like to wear my traditional Arab wedding clothing because I like the way it flows in the wind. So, you have questions for me, I understand. Yes, young man. I did. I led the revolt on a camel.
I like your accent.
I did a fine job, too, right before I killed it.
What? Why did you quit?
Yes, I was leading the revolt, charging downhill toward Aqaba on my camel, using my pistol, firing one shot after another at the enemy, and finally went flying over the head of the camel, landed on my back. And this was after my fifth shot, you see, from my pistol went into the head of the camel I was riding. Yes, young man.
Well, do you yourself consider yourself a leader? Because I know that people consider you non-leader and some.
What people?
His name is David Fromkin. He said that it was typical of you to be modest about the things you actually did while telling lots of lies and claim stuff that you haven't actually done.
Well, yes, I agree with the modesty part. I'm modest about the things I've actually done. I don't so much agree with the bit about me lying about the things that I never did. Yes, young man.
Mr. Fromkin also says that it was Prince Faisal who thought of going to Aqaba through land, and not you.
Prince Faisal, yes, a good friend of mine. But it was my idea, as you saw in my autobiographical account of the Arab Revolt. It was Colonel Bremond who first thought of taking Aqaba at all.
But what if you're a liar?
Well, I'd like to take. How do I get out? Where's the
There's a door.
You're trapped!
How do I get back to Mother England?
You have to answer all our questions.
I have to answer all of your questions? Well, let's get on with it then. You are all dressed very strangely. Where are you from? Where am I?
Westport, Connecticut.
Yes, young man, where are you? Westport, Connecticut.
That is in
What year is this?
2025.
2025. And how stable is the Middle East? Is there a lot of stability in that region in 2025? How stable is the region, young man?
Not very.
Not very stable. See? If the Paris Peace Conference authorities that be had listened to my recommendations, if they had drawn up the lines in the countries according to the way I suggested, if they had looked at my map and used it instead of making their own, there would be more stability in the region today, I assure you. Yes, young man, you had a question.
It says that you were charged with the duty to lead them forward, but you also said that you never had any office among the Arabs and you were never in charge of the British mission.
Yes. I was charged to lead them forward. I had superiors yet who had more power than I did, however. So I was never in charge of the complete mission. And I never had any office amongst the Arabs, meaning I was not formally a leader of their mission from their eyes, from their point of view. Does that make sense? Yes, young lady?
On Wikipedia it says you died on...
What?
It says you died on today.
Well, everyone dies. It is 2025.
You died on May 19th, 1935 on your motorcycle. How do you explain this?
May 19th,
And your
1955,
motorcycle,
that's today.
and your motorcycle is currently...
It's when I return home, that's what I'll be returning to May 19th, 1935.
It says you get hit by a car.
Well, I better make
Your motorcycle is
take extra care of the
currently
maintenance of my motorcycle than
in the Imperial War Museum in London. How do you explain that?
Dead.
Well, thank you very much. This has been a distinct.
We're in the future. Maybe we
Experience.
die tomorrow.
Can't say it was a pleasure.
I just want to say,
Rather unusual, rather uncomfortable, but it was an experience.
We're in the
Thank you.
future. Maybe
I would
we'll
like to
die
return
tomorrow.
back home now. Thank you.
you're good,
You've had your questions answered, so that should help you now.